So here we are, the last module of the semester, Professionalism in Teaching in the first year. Um, we've got a lot of information that we've come through this semester, and hopefully you're coming through this thinking that teaching is something that you are still interested in. And I hope that I've been able to give you information that will carry you to that decision. So our learning objectives for this section is to describe the attributes of a profession and articulate whether teaching has those attributes, discuss society's views of teaching, and list some of the common challenges and strategies for overcoming those challenges. So a profession is quite unique in some ways. There are several qualities that distinguish professions from other occupations. Groups and teacher organizations are working to raise professional skills and status. Teachers can enhance their own professional development in many ways, and reflection, that we've mentioned multiple times throughout the semester, can contribute to your professional development as a teacher. A profession renders a unique and essential service. Obviously, teaching meets that rule. Requires mastery of complex body of knowledge and skills. Absolutely, you are required to continue learning all the time while you're teaching. Requires long education and training. Yes, we can check that box. Relies on intellectual rather than physical skills. Yes, that's the case, and is self-regulating. So all of those, yes, are characteristics of a profession and characteristics of school systems and teaching. Members of a profession enjoy autonomy and decision-making authority. Now, do we have that? Probably not so much in education. We are not able to make that many decisions on our own. We can make the decisions for our own classroom, but not for the school as a whole. We do follow a code of ethics that's established by the profession. We accept personal responsibility. We work without supervision 90% of the time, and are more concerned with services rendered than remuneration received. However, I think this is a category that needs to be touched on, because every year during Teacher Appreciation Week, you see lots of people posting little smug memes on Facebook and Instagram that say things like, teachers are in it for the outcome, not the income. Well, you know what? We've all worked very hard to also be employed and be able to make a living. And you can be interested in outcome and income at the same time. And it's unrealistic to think that teachers should just be doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. So that's an area that I kind of disagree with. If you were talking about the profession of architects, yes, they're interested and concerned with services rendered, but they're also concerned with their remuneration. If you're a doctor, are you concerned that you're making money? Yes, you have medical loans, medical school loans to pay for. All of those things are important, and I don't think it should lightly say you're more concerned with the results rather than the money. Questions to consider when evaluating teaching as a profession. Do teachers possess an organized body of knowledge and specialized set of skills? Absolutely. Do they have a formal period of preparation and training beyond undergraduate? Yes. Is there a requirement for ongoing professional growth? Yes. All three of those are inherent in teaching. Do teachers enjoy autonomy in their work and decision-making authority? You have some, not complete. You don't get to just totally do your own thing. Is there a code of ethics? Yes. And you have control or influence over performance standards? probably not on the major categories, individual activities, of course. As far as history goes with education and teaching, from the 16 and 1700s, teaching was a respectable temporary profession for young men, and it was considered a pathway to the ministry. Beginning in the 1800s through the 1970s, it was very low status and was often in a female dominated field. We had a lot of colleges opening that were called normal schools. Those were schools that were specifically designed to train young women to be teachers. And then in the 1960s and 70s, there was a change in demographics of the teaching population. And that occurred from the women's movement and the Vietnam War, and those things allowed many more women to join the nation's workforce. Today, teachers provide a benefit to society, and qualifications have a significant impact on teaching learning, student learning, and teachers are considered to be trustworthy. There has been, over the last couple decades, a real drive to upgrade the teaching profession. National Board for Professional Teaching Standards certified excellency of teachers. As I mentioned earlier, I am a National Board certified teacher. It kind of was designed to really reward teachers who had gone above and beyond in the classroom. It's important for helping teaching be seen as a mature profession and has 5 core propositions. Those are that teachers are committed to students and their learning, that they know the subjects they teach and how to teach them, are responsible for managing and monitoring student learning, are mindful of their principal objectives, and are members of learning communities. One thing that has come about in the last couple of years is pay for performance, also known as merit pay. And merit pay bases your salary increases on achievement of set criteria: qualities of teaching, career ladders, student performance, and responsibilities. And it is not always considered to be equitable. Teaching does have professional organizations and associations. The National Education Association is the largest group representing the interest of educators, and it has 3.2 million members, affiliates in many types of communities, wide range of benefits, and provides lobbying and legal defense of members. That can be very controversial in some ways. There are many other professional associations. This NEA is for teachers in general, but subject areas have their own associations. In your resources this week, I've provided links to quite a few of those, including the National Art Education Association, the National Association for Music Educators. There are organizations for science teachers, social studies, PE, all the different areas. And those have great value in developing a community where you have like interests and situations that you want to discuss with others. The AFT is the American Federation of Teachers. It's also a union, and it has 1.6 million members, mostly urban, and has a wide range of benefits, and its mission is to serve as a union for teachers. Professional development can come from quite a few places. Your district or your school may have professional development planned, induction or onboarding programs. I know that in my county in Onslow, they require every single person who's going to work in the school to take a class called Effective Teacher Training. There are mentor programs, there are school-wide seminars, Professional associations have conferences and conventions. Colleges and universities have professional development offered, and there's many informal professional development opportunities as well. First year teachers. This is where we are now. First year teachers have often experience unexpected feelings and reaction. They're going through some common stages, and they should all seek out support and ask for help if possible. That's a very important part of becoming a teacher. Some of the challenges for first year teachers: culture shock. Schools are familiar yet foreign. Many of you going into an elementary, a middle, or a high school may not have been in one since you were there as a student. And you might be surprised that it's not the way you remember those schools. Physical exhaustion. Teaching is a high energy endeavor. One of my longtime friends used to say that she was basically, the classroom was her stage. She was the diva in charge every day, and she was performing from the time she got there to the time she left. It's also very socially isolating because few of your interactions are with peers. You spend the whole day with students, and you have very little time to spend with your peers. Ways to cope with that: accept that you're no longer part of the student culture. Now you need to understand the teacher culture. Use knowledge of old student culture to help with lessons and classroom management, and keep appropriate social distance. If you're tired, you're going to be tired, especially if you're working in elementary. Develop some habits to deal with that fatigue. Get enough sleep, exercise regularly, eat a well-balanced diet. And I'm also going to caution you with the taking home mountains of work to do at home. At some point, you have to leave some of it at school. Or designate one day a week that you stay late and work on work. But it's a slippery slope to start bringing home tons of work to do every night. Before school begins, you will have time to arrange your classroom, order supplies, plan your procedures and rules, make your lesson plans, get to know your school and your students, and make personal preparations. On the first day of school, you're going to be nervous. The days leading up to it, think about what you want to wear, how you're going to dress, what that first impression is going to be like. Get to school early. Make sure you go to bed early the night before. You get up in plenty of time. Nobody wants to be rushed on the first day. Keeping in mind that lots of parents are going to bring their kids the first day. So traffic might be more than normal on the first day of school. So try to allow for that extra time. Greet your students as they arrive. Say hello. Even shake their hand. Start instruction right away and have some get acquainted time. Gradually introduce your classroom, your procedures, your rules, and nonverbal signals. Some key topics to learn in the first year. Learn about testing and grading, how to keep up with report cards, discipline issues, field trips, sports events, open house and parent conferences. You can expect that there's going to be induction programs, there's going to be new teacher groups, mentor programs, and a combination of those groups and mentoring that you're going to have to participate in. Know what to expect. Be forewarned. Find that mentor. Meet and get to know other new teachers. If they don't come to you, you go to them. Introduce yourself. Tell them that you're excited about teaching. Expect that there's going to be some reluctance from the veteran teachers. They've heard it all before, and they like to appear, kind of salty. So just understand that. Establish your reputation with students, families, and community, and make yourself known at school. In order to not be so socially isolated, chit chat with students. Ask them about community and extracurricular events. Carefully select aspects of your life to share. When you're talking to them and you find out that a student is running races, you could say, well, you know what, I've run a couple of half marathons, and where do you like to run? Those kinds of general questions are great. If there's something in your life that you do that is very different from other people, say, for instance, every weekend you go to the mountains and you ski and you are quite a good snowboarder, you might want to share that. You might have a picture in your classroom of you on a snowboard. Those are the things that make you human to your students. Relish the adult company. Talk to colleagues about non-school topics. Talk to them about where you're going on the spring break, or where you're going to go visit. In addition to that, I would also add in, if you are a high school teacher, you don't have to attend every single sporting event, although you could if you wanted to. But if you have students that are playing basketball, go to a basketball game or two. Tell your student, I saw you last night. I saw you playing out there on the basketball court. That goes a long way towards making connections with a student. Same thing with going to the band concert. Telling your student who was playing his first saxophone, I heard you at the concert. That was great. I loved your solo. Those kinds of connections go a long way. If you're at the elementary and middle school age levels, go to the PTO programs when the students are doing a presentation. Go to the art shows. Again, you don't have to do every single one. If you're teaching high school, there's something every single day. You can't possibly do it all. But go to some things that your students are involved in. It makes a huge connection to those students. And that's the end of this lesson. And again, if you have questions, let me know.